Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. This is my second video for my new channel. As you can see, I look slightly different. I've got a little pink hair in my life. I did a really fun and exciting show for Matrix Destination. Matrix Professional is a huge brand that I have had the pleasure of modeling for numerous times over the past few years, and this specific last week I was in Orlando and I not only got to do their opening runway show, which is a giant production that Fergie hosted, but I got to do a photo shoot with a couple of their new social media influencers, and this hair is to die for. Now, I know it's gonna have to go, and so that's the reality that I face, but I'm so happy that I get to wear something like this. And I think that ties in a little bit into the kind of topics that I want to talk about. So to segue into my topic today, I want to speak on how you can do things that are exciting and make it work into your life and your career path, and not settling for just one job. I think what is really interesting about 2018 and just the accessibility of work is that we don't have to anymore select just one thing to do. I know that there is this, this idea embedded in us when we're growing up that we need to pick one thing that we enjoy doing when we're in high school and go to college for that, graduate, and then do that job. But not everybody has that path or the drive to select one thing, and I couldn't even in my wildest dreams imagine what I would want to do whenever I was in high school. I knew I liked writing, I knew I liked dancing, and I knew that I enjoyed very much modeling. And then I took the path of doing a little bit in health and nutrition, and then I followed the path of modeling instead of doing dance and all of that. And fast forward to where I am now, I don't do just one thing. And for me, that works so super wonderful because it allows me to really get my creative juices flowing by doing numerous different jobs on a regular basis so that I don't get bored with the mundane everyday job of, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Now, I've done that and it really wasn't for me. And I even worked at a gym as a personal trainer for several years, and though I loved that experience, there was very much a reservation in me that I knew that it wasn't something that I wanted to do forever, at least right now. And the reason that I want to talk about this a bit is because this past week while I was in Orlando, I met so many amazing people that are doing really cool things. And I made a new model friend named Sarah, and we had lots of talks as well about this topic. And I think that it's okay to break the mold of what is expected of us. There are so many career opportunities out there and ways that we can make money and sustain our lifestyle if you have the ability and the drive and the desire to do it. It doesn't mean that it's wrong if you want to do one thing, and it doesn't mean it's wrong if you desire to do a lot of things. It's just a matter of what works for you specifically as an individual. And it may not seem the most ideal a lot of times at all because it's a struggle. For me, I'm going to use me as an example because it's obviously the most personal, but I model, I do acting, I occasionally coach people, I do casting directing. When I have time, I work at a brewery. I will sometimes bartend at random events, and that's just a few things that I do. It works for me. It sometimes is more difficult. I have to travel quite a bit, which I love. And there's a lot more expenses involved because I pay for my own health insurance, I pay for my own travel on occasion, and there's just a little things that you don't really think about when you get into this field, or any field for that matter, where you're not working a standard job that most people work, which is, going into one business, having a boss and all of that. I don't like having a boss. I don't like feeling micromanaged. I do very well on my own. I'm very independent. I'm very self-driven. And I like setting goals for myself, and I like meeting those goals or exceeding those goals. And I just want to get that across to everyone that it is possible to make that happen for yourself. You just have to sometimes think outside of the box. I would have never thought 15 years ago that I would be doing what I'm doing now, and I would never think that I could take my career as being a model and having my photos everywhere and make that something that pays my bills, and still also have the ability to do all of these other things. I think that anything is possible if you just put your mind to it, and don't listen to anybody else. I mean, be realistic with your life. If something's not working for you, change it. It may not happen right away, but I mean, today, and this is a wonderful, wonderful example. I got back from Orlando last night, and today my goals were go to the gym, start, filming some content, and, getting ready for some self-tapes that I have to do. So I sat on the computer and I spent a couple hours emailing my clients, posting online, engaging with my followers, and just like putting it out there that I was ready to book some stuff this month, and doing all of my corresponding that I have to do on a regular basis. And, I was getting a little bummed because when I don't have a full plate in front of me all the time, I feel like I'm not really fulfilling what I want, which is it's just something that happens, and that's how I am, and I'll get through it, but I was feeling that way today. And then, it was kind of interesting actually. I got a response from somebody saying that they wanted to book me, and then I was driving to go to the gym, and I got a call from my agent, because I set up an appointment to go meet with them, and I set up, whatever. He called me, and he was like, well, I know that we just set a time to meet, but actually I have a job for you that the client wants to know your availability. And of course I'm available that day, because obviously I was going to go meet with my agent. But so that's a good example. I think that, and that's not always, that's like me being very like positive thinking, but I think that when you take the time and you put in this work and you put your stuff out there, it will start to manifest itself, because you're putting that energy out there. You're telling people, I'm ready, I want to work, this is what I want to do, and I take myself seriously, and I want others to know that. If you just lay back and just like hope that people are going to stumble across your website or contact you on Facebook or your Instagram, and that's the only effort you put in, you're not going to go anywhere. And some people are lucky and they do, but more times than not, if it's not working for you now, it's not going to work, and you need to put in the work to make that happen. And that, I may not book that job. I might get a release availability, and that's okay. I'll still go meet with my agent. I'll still do some photo shoots and update my portfolio and do this other booking that I do have. And that's the beauty of what I do, because my schedule might be terrible to manage, because of course I can't keep track of everything all the time, but and make it work as best as I can, and eventually it all works out. So, full disclaimer, it's not easy. I know I keep saying that, but it's not easy. But it's awesome, it's flexible. I don't have a boss. I don't have somebody telling me that I can't do this or I can't do that I can't request these days off or whatever. I might struggle. I might have to chase my money or photos, or there's a zillion other things that you have to think about, and I'll talk about those in another video. But just know that it's not always going to be easy, and sometimes you have to struggle to meet and make it to where you're supposed to be. So keep that in mind, keep a positive outlook on it, but don't ever lose that hustle, because if you lose that hustle, people will see that. They'll forget about you. They will. And you need to be present and offer all of that positivity back to those that are helping you. And I just think that by doing that, everything will fall into place. Just keep up at it. I hope you guys enjoyed watching my video today. I'm going to keep posting as much as I can. Obviously, I had a very busy week last week and did not have very much time to post anything at all. But I would like your input, and please keep an eye out. The next thing I want to talk about is going to be body positivity, especially related into the modeling world, but really that can translate to anything. And also I want to talk a lot about how to decide what kind of agent you need, or agents, or what kind of modeling or acting you should get into. So stay tuned. Please leave some feedback, leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.